Hello, this is Brenda Green, and I'd like to welcome you to Living in the Go. Today, I want to talk to you about your shelter, the roof over your head, where you lay your head at night. That is so important. And I'm not talking about buying a house or anything like that. I'm talking about the basic necessities of life. You got to have a place to live. Before I get into it though, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And also hit the notifications so that when I put new videos out there, you can take a look at those and share them with your friends. So let's get into it. So what are the key steps for your housing? Well, the first thing, you got to know that housing is your priority. If you don't have a roof over your head, there's a problem. There are a lot of people who are homeless in this country, and I suspect all over the world, and we need to do something about that. How you can help yourself is to focus on making sure that you have adequate, secure housing for yourself, safe and secure. One of the things you do if you're working, allocate how much you need to have for your housing. Typically, it's like 35%, but if you want to live in a decent neighborhood and you don't quite have enough, if you get a two-bedroom place, you can always get a roommate to share the expenses, but make sure the housing is your priority. You can't live in your car. Well, I take that back. People do live in their cars sometimes, but it's more important that you have a home, a roof over your head. You pay for your housing before anything else. So if you have a lot of credit card debt and you think, well, I can skip the rent this month and I'll get back to it. No, the landlords don't have patience. Now, there was something put in place during COVID to keep landlords from putting you out, but those things are going away. And so if you don't pay that back rent, out you go. And they are quick to do that because when they don't have people paying the money they should for their housing, they're in the deficit. They can't pay the mortgage on the property themselves. So they want a tenant who can pay. So you're going to have to go. So make sure before anything else gets paid that you pay that. Also think about your utilities. You're hoping that if you get a place to live, a rental property, that utilities come with it. They don't always. So check your utilities. Don't make your utilities the last thing on your list. If you're spending way too much on electricity, cut some things out. I know people who keep lights on all night. Why? You don't need to do that. If your utilities are high, find ways that you can cut back on some things. But again, everything goes to the housing to ensure that you have safe places for you to be. Where you live is important too. You know, there are steps you can take. You can contact the local police districts and find out what the crime rates are. You can go online and do that. And if the area that you're looking at, they have great costs on their rentals, but there's a lot of crime, that's not where you want to be. So again, having a roommate might be a way to mitigate that. But make sure you check out the place. Go at night to see what's happening in that area before you sign on the dotted line. But your safety is the key thing, and it's very important. Now, I do have my beliefs, and I want to share those with you right now. So again, everyone needs shelter. And you see people out on the street, they're homeless, something went wrong. They don't have a place to live, they're out on the streets with the weather being bad sometimes, or they have to go to a shelter and hope that there's room for them. It's not the best of circumstances. Hygiene is a problem. So everybody needs some shelter. There are a lot of government programs out there that can help people who are homeless. If you know someone, a relative, and they're homeless and it's a situation where you can do something to help, then you want to do that. Your home should not be more than 35% of your income. And that's apartments, that's houses, everything. In certain circumstances, if safety is a priority and you find a place that is a little bit more that it takes of your income to have a good, safe shelter, then you can increase that. But the bottom line is to try to keep it around 35% of your income. It may mean that you need to have roommates in order to have a great shelter and have a place that's safe and secure. That's okay too. Don't be too proud to ask for help because sometimes we feel like I don't want to be on welfare or I don't want to take any subsidies. Well, that's what they're there for. They're safety nets for people who are struggling or who don't have a lot of income. So look into those various programs to see if there's something available for you. because those things are there to help you and to make sure that you don't be on the street and that you do have a roof over your head. You also want to negotiate the rent. And sometimes people think, well, whatever they quote, that's the price. Not necessarily. You can, for example, ask for an 18-month lease instead of a 12-month, providing that the landlord will knock some of the rent off. For them, the landlord is a bonus because their unit is not staying empty and they have guaranteed rent for a longer period of time. And it saves for you because if they can knock $25 off the rent each month, that's a bonus for you. You also want to investigate the area where you're going to be living. That's very important. You can look online to see the crime statistics for an area that you move in. You want to drive around the area to see what it looks like at daytime and at night, just to see if this is a place that you want to live at, a place that you want to feel safe and secure in. So all of those things are very important. So as always, I want to thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, like I said, we're doing back to basics this year. And so if there are topics that interest you to come up and you want to hear about it, just send me a note and I will get right on it. So thanks again and have a great day.